Okay, so I now have a little bit extra added to my sleeve, so I'm just going to show you again. Flatten your work out and then measure from your underarm outwards. So I am now up to, oh, I wish I hadn't measured it now. It's 13. I don't like that number. Unlucky for some. Hopefully not me today. So yes, I'm at 13 centimetres. Awesome. So if you're going to use the measurements that I've provided for your sleeve length, I'm doing a size small and mine says 44 centimetres. So I will keep working my sleeve until I reach about 44 centimetres. And then we will add the cuff. So I'll see you back here once you have a full length sleeve. Okay, so I've been crocheting hard and I have got a sleeve. I'm making a size small and my sleeve length said about 43 centimetres. So I'm just going to take my tape measure and see where we're at. Measuring from the underarm right out to the edge. I am pretty much on 43 centimetres. So the next part of the tutorial is going to be adding a cuff. If you want to draw it in and add a cuff, I mean, if you don't want to, then you can just leave it like this, if that's what you prefer. But I like a cuff. I like to be able to roll my sleeves up so I can wash my hands and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, let's add the cuff. Okay, so for your cuff, you're going to be working on the right side throughout the whole part of the cuff. So if you're sticking with the same colour and you're currently working on the wrong side, then you will need to chain one and turn your work. Now I'm changing my colour, so I need to attach my new yarn, so I'm just going to attach it straight onto the front, or the right side, not the front, you know what I mean, the right side. Now how much you decrease is up to you. I like to draw my cuff in quite a bit. I'm going to do a single crochet, 2 together in every stitch. If you want it a bit looser, you can add a single crochet in there. You could do like single crochet 2 together 3 times, then put a single crochet in there and keep doing things like that. If you want it tighter, you could do single crochet 3 together. Just have a play about and see what you prefer. I think that's the best way to do it. So I am going to attach my yarn through the first stitch where I've just fastened off with a slip stitch. Now this round needs to end on an even number so that we can do the ribbon. So keep that in mind. So yes, I am going to single crochet 2 together in every stitch. So I've just joined my yarn with a slip stitch. Just tighten that up a little bit. I'm going to chain 1 and coming straight back into the very same stitch, and coming into this one in a minute we're going to single crochet 2 together. So I'm going to put my hook through the very same stitch where I've just attached, yarn over, pull up a loop. I've got 2 loops on my hook. I'm now going to do the same thing in the next stitch. Put my hook through the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'm now going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that is a single crochet 2 together. And what it's done is just join these 2 stitches to make it into one, and that's a decrease stitch. I'm going to do that in every stitch. So I'm going to go in my next stitch, insert my hook and yarn over, pull up a loop, which gives me 2 loops on my hook. Come to my next stitch, put my yarn through the stitch, not my yarn, my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and I've got 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Again, go in my next stitch with my hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, gives me 2 loops on the hook. Come to the next stitch, go through, yarn over and pull up a loop, and I've got 3 loops now on my hook, yarn over and go through all 3 loops. Do it again. Go through the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Come to the next stitch, go through that, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3. So I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around my cuff. It's quite a quick stitch when you speed it up a bit. Look, in there, whoop. And that's just going to bring my cuff in, ready for the ribbing. And like I say, you can have it as tight as you want or as loose as you want. It's completely up to you. It's all personal preference really, I think. But just remember that this round needs to end on an even number. So yeah, keep decreasing all the way around and I'll meet you when you get near the end of the round. Okay, so I'm near the end of my round. Now if you have an extra stitch, or you don't have enough stitches to make it an even number, you can either skip the last stitch or you can put another stitch in your final stitch. You could put 2 single crochets in your final stitch, or you can skip the last stitch. Do whatever you feel, but it just needs to be an even number. So I've got 2 stitches left to place, and I do actually have 2 stitches left, which is quite lucky. So I'm going to place my final single crochet 2 together and then join it to the first single crochet 2 together with a slip stitch. And that's the first round of your ribbing. You might want to try it, well I say first round of your ribbon, first round of your cuff I mean. You might want to try it on, make sure that your hand can go through it nice and easily. Yeah, I'm quite happy with mine. Oh, look at that, it's made a nice little circle. Okay, so we're going to do round 2. Still working on the right side. We're now going to do 1 round of double crochets. So I'm going to chain 3 and that's going to be my first double. Go into the next stitch and start making double crochets. 1 double crochet in every stitch, all the way around. Remember to keep count of your stitches because it still needs to be an even number. So yeah, just keep placing a double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Okay, I am at the end of my round. So I'm going to join it together by placing a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the round. So it's going to go through that and place a slip stitch. And that is round 2. Now we're going to do the ribbing. I always do front post double crochet, back post double crochet. That's always my go-to ribbing because I like that you can add or take away rows so easily. So you can do a few rows, try it on, see how you feel. Do you want a bit more? Yeah, I'll have a bit more length. Although I really love the look of the other ribbings, this one is just so much easier just to take some away or add it on. So that's why I tend to do this one quite a lot. Because it's made to measure as well at the end of the day, isn't it? So it's how you would like it to be. There's a fit that you want it to be, the length as well. I'm babbling. Right, come on, let's crack on. Round 3. Stop talking. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to do a front post double crochet. So you can see the stitches from the previous round. We're going to call these the posts. The first one we're going to do a front post double crochet. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to push my hook around the back of this post. I'm going to go in through the front, come around the back like this, and then I'm going to do my double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, got 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. And that's a front post double crochet. That should be pushed forwards, like forwards. Your stitch should be pushed forwards. Next, we're going to do the back post double crochet. So for that, we're going to come in backwards and go over the top of this post stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, because we're doing a double crochet. I'm going to like wiggle my hook through the back and come through the front, go across that post stitch and come right out the back again. And now I'm going to place a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And then this stitch is going to be sitting a bit further back. So we're just going to keep alternating those 2 stitches. So a front post is next, yarn over, come in from the front and go behind the post and come out the other side. Now do your double crochet, yarn over, pull it through a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Next one's the back post. Yarn over and come in through the back and go around the front of the post and come right out the back again. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second loops. I'll do them one more time. Next one's a front post double crochet. Yarn over, go in from the front of the post and come behind it and out the other side. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. This one's a back post. Yarn over and come in from the back and go over the top of that post and back out the other side. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both loops. I do apologise if you already know how to do this and you're thinking, God, just get on with it. But not everybody might not know how to do it. So that's why I've just did that little bit there. So if you are not quite sure, just have a little rewind and rewatch that little section again. But for everyone else who knows how to do it, then we'll just crack on. Like front post, double crochet, back post, double crochet, front post, back post, front post, back post. Just alternating those 2 stitches to give a little rippled ribbing effect. Front post, back post. So keep repeating front post and back post, and then I will come and meet you when you get near the end of the round. I'm coming up to the end of the round. I've got 1 stitch, well 1 post left to go through, and it should be a back post double crochet because you started with your front and then you should end with the back. So doing my last back post double crochet, and then we're going to join it to the top of the first front post double crochet with a slip stitch. So just go through the top of the stitch and do a slip stitch. Now you're going to keep repeating that round until you are happy with the length of your cuff. I'm just going to do a little bit more with you. So we're going to chain 1. We're still working on the right side. We're going to put a front post double crochet straight down. This one is a little bit chunkier than the rest because you've got a chain 1 in there from the previous round as well. You're going to go around the whole lot. So where you find your gap, go straight through that gap, yeah? And then come round and do your front post double crochet. Then it's a back post. You're going to be following the exact same stitch pattern as before. So this is a front post from the previous round. We're going to put a front post around that. And then this one is a back post. So yeah, that one is your back post that you're going to do around that one. And then front post again. post again. Front post, back post, front post, and back post. And then when you come back and look at it, you'll see that the stitches are growing taller. Oh, come on, get all stuck, look. So this here is your front posts that you've been doing, front post double crochets, and the ones that are sitting behind are the back post double crochets. So we're just making these stitches taller. So yes, keep repeating this round until you're happy with the length of your cuff, and then you can fasten off and do the same for the other side. Basically, I have already started, or I say started, I have already made my second sleeve. So once you've done your cuff, go straight to the opposite side and work up your second sleeve. I did mine at the same time because I'm using scrap yarn and my yarn is seriously getting low. I've run out of one colour already. Yeah, it's very, very low. So I did my sleeves both at the same time so that I knew I had enough yarn for each side to make it look even, because I like things to look even. I'm a bit of a control freak when it comes to colour placement. So yes, once you have completed your first cuff, move on to the opposite side if you haven't already, and make your second sleeve and do the exact same process for that cuff as well. And then I'll meet you back here for the neckline section. Right, we are now on the neckline section. Hopefully you've both got 2 sleeves and 2 cuffs. There they are, lovely jubblies. Okay, neckline section. Right, so if you lay your sweater out, so you've got your right side facing you and the front facing you, we are going to work from the top left corner along the back. So let's get our yarn ready. Now for this section, if you feel like your neckline is big, then you're going to be placing 2 double crochets, like 2 double crochet clusters instead of your normal 3 that we've been doing for the granny stitch. If your neckline is quite tight, then you're going to be placing 3 double crochets. But you can stick with the 2 first and then try it on and see how you feel, because it's all about just how it fits for you. I always say it all the time, especially if you're making it for yourself. Try it on. Don't just go, oh yeah, that'll be right. Just keep trying it on, because you can make it to however you want it to fit. Right, I'm babbling again. Let's crack on. Right, so your sweater should hopefully be laid out in front of you. Your front panel here, back panel here. We are going to work from the left side. So I'm just kind of going to grab mine and kind of flip it over a bit, because we're going to be working from the back first. So we are going to go in the very first single crochet right after this shoulder seam. So the next stitch after your shoulder seam should hopefully be a single crochet. Fingers crossed, that's what you've got there. So we're going to attach our yarn with a slip stitch. Now my neckline's quite big, so I am going to chain 3 and put 1 more double crochet back into this single crochet. So I'm going to go round and I'm going to place 2 doubles, not 3, 2. So we're going to skip over our chain space and come to the next single crochet and put 2 double crochets in that space, or not that space, sorry, in the single crochet. Again, skip your chain space and go in the next single crochet with 2 doubles. You just turn my sweater, nearly called it a jumper. I mean, I'm English, you know, British. We like to call these jumpers, you know. So, right, let's skip the next chain space and go in the next single crochet with 2 doubles. Not got my tension very well. So keep skipping chain spaces and going in the single crochet with 2 doubles, and keep doing that until you get to the next shoulder seam on the opposite side. Oh, go through there. So keep skipping those chain spaces and placing 2 doubles in every single crochet until you reach the opposite side. Oh, that just come out. So I'm nearly there. I've got 1 single crochet left before the seam, or the shoulder seam. So I'm going to put 2 double crochets in there. Okay, so now we're going to come on down the front to the neckline shaping. We're going to skip over the seam and we're going to go around the very first double crochet bar, which I like to call the DC bar. So find that first one, poke your finger through it if you have to, and put 2 double crochets around that DC bar. Skip the next DC bar and go into your next one with 2 double crochets. Skip the next one and go in the around the next DC bar with 2 double crochets. And keep repeating that until you reach the front of your sweater, and it will be a single crochet, which has already got the DC bar and whatever in it from when we did the neckline shaping. It's got that in it, whatever, yeah, it's already got something in it. We're going to go in that stitch, okay, with 2 double crochets, and that's going to bring us onto the front of the sweater. So now we are back again. Hang on, let me just turn it all around. We are now back again to skipping over a chain space and going in the single crochet with 2 double crochets. So keep doing that, skipping your chain space and then going into the next single with 2 doubles. Keep doing that until you reach the center. Oh, I'm dragging my scissors along with the yarn until you reach the center. So I've got a chain space here. I've got 2 single crochets, and then I've also got the corner of one of my squares from the front. It's all a bit busy. It's all going on. What we're going to do is we're going to skip over the chain space and we're going to go into the very first single crochet of that corner. Okay, so you've got 2 single crochets and the corner. We're going to go in the very first one with 2 double crochets. Next, we are going to skip the next single crochet and then we're going to come into the corner, the original corner from your right square at the top, and you're going to put 2 double crochets in that corner. Now you're going to skip over the seam down the middle, and then you're going to come to the corner of your top left square, and we're just going to mirror image what we've just done. So 2 double crochets in the top corner, skip the next single crochet and then put 2 double crochets in the next single crochet. So we've just mirror imaged what we've just done on the opposite side. And now we're back again to skipping chain spaces and putting a single... No, I said it again there. What am I doing? Right, just rewind. We're going to skip the chain space and we're going to put 2 double crochets in the single crochet. Oh my word, we will get there. There ain't no way I'm going back and re-recording all what I've just done. So, you just have to say to yourself, no, that ain't right. Kelly, you got that bit wrong, haven't you? I do that quite often, you know. Right, chain space, skip that one. 2 doubles in the next single crochet. And keep repeating that. Basically putting 2 doubles in every single crochet along the front until you get to the part where your neckline shaping starts, you're going to put 2 single crochets in that stitch. Oh, right, that's it. I'm not starting again. I'm not. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know I don't mean put 2 single crochets. 2 doubles. My goodness. You're going to put 2 double crochets in this single crochet that's already got your neckline shaping in it. Oh my word. It's a good job I can hear myself, because sometimes I don't always hear myself say the wrong thing until I get a bit further around. Then I think, oh no, did I just say the wrong thing? And then when I hear it back, I'm like, yeah, I did say the wrong thing. Hopefully everyone knows what I mean, really. Okay, so we're now coming back up the other side of the neckline shaping, and we're going to skip over the first DC bar, and we're going to come to the next one. Wiggle your finger through it, there you go, and put 2 double crochets around that DC bar. Skip the next DC bar and go around your next one with 2 double crochets. Sorry if I'm sounding like a robot, but I keep getting it wrong, so skip. Yeah, just keep skipping the DC bars and then putting 2 double crochets into the next DC bar until you come to your shoulder seam, and then you are going to join it to the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the round with a slip stitch. Now, before you proceed, I suggest that you try your sweater on and see how you feel about your neckline. Because if you put it on, you've got to remember what we're going to be doing next is adding some ribbing. Now, if you feel like your neckline is too big still, then we can bring it in again by doing another round of 2 double crochets. So basically you're going to do I say exactly, you're not going to do exactly what you've just done, but you can do another round where you are putting 2 double crochets in every single gap, and keep doing that until you feel happy with the fit of your neckline, because you don't want it hanging off your shoulders, do you? So if that's like feels a bit like that, add a few more rounds of 2 double crochets. Again, opposite, if you try it on and think, oh, that's a bit tight, I don't know how I'm going to get ribbing on that, you can, I know, you're going to go, oh, what on earth, why are you making me do this? You can undo your stitches. Woo! And then you can go back and put 3 doubles around instead of 2, and that will make it a bit bigger. Okay, so I am going to come away and I'm going to try this on and see how I feel, see if I want to add another round, because I know my neckline did come out a little bit big, which is fine, because if that's the case, I might add another round of 2 doubles in all the gaps. So I'm going to try it on and see where we're at. Okay, so I ended up adding an extra round of 2 double crochets in all the gaps. Just added it on exactly the same as how you've been doing your sleeves. Okay, so yeah, just doing 2 double crochets in the gaps, because my neckline came out a bit big. Sometimes that happens. I'm actually quite glad that it did, so I can explain that that's all right. It doesn't matter. Just add another round. Bring it in a bit. So I'm now ready to do the ribbing, and it's exactly the same as how we've just done the cuff. So I've changed colour for my ribbing, so I'm just going to get my yarn. Now, because I placed 2 double crochets in all the gaps, I already know that I have an even number of stitches. You're going to need an even number for your ribbon. Now, if you haven't got an even number of stitches around your neckline, that is fine, don't worry. When you get to your last stitch, you've got 2 options. You can put 2 double crochets in your final stitch, or you can miss out your final stitch and skip over it and attach your yarn, join your round together by putting your slip stitch through your chain 3. It's completely up to you. Have a look when you get there, is what I normally do. But because I've worked 2 doubles in all the gaps, I know that I have an even number of stitches. So for this round, it's just going to be 1 round of double crochets. I'm just going to attach my yarn where I fastened off. We're working on the front as well, as always, for the ribbon. So I've just attached my yarn with a slip stitch in the first stitch. We're going to chain 3 and then go in the next stitch with a double crochet, and every stitch after that with 1 double crochet. So yeah, 1 double crochet in every single stitch, and then I'm going to meet you when we get to the end of the round. Okay, so I am now at the end of my round. Like I said before, I know that I've got an even amount of stitches because I did 2 doubles. If you haven't got an even amount of stitches and you've got an odd number, then you can either skip your last stitch or you can put 2 doubles in your last stitch to make it up to an even number. You decide, it's up to you, what you think looks best, okay? So we're going to join to the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the round with a slip stitch to finish off that first round of ribbing, really, isn't it? So now we're going to do the ribbing, which is your front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. So I'll do a little bit with you. So we're going to start by chaining 1, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet straight down around that very first post, followed by your back post double crochet, and then the front post double crochet, back post double crochet. Oh heck, I've just come out of there. Front post double crochet and back post. Just keep alternating between the front post and the back post all the way around. So front post, back post, front post, back post. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to meet you back here when you get to the end of the round. Okay, so I am right at the end of my round. I have got 1 back post left to create. You should be ending on a back post double crochet, and then you're going to join it to the top of the front post double crochet from the beginning of the round with a slip stitch. Now you can stop here if you wish, or you can keep adding rounds. It's completely up to you. I'm not sure what to do. Do I stop or not? I don't know. I think I might try it on and decide what I'm going to do. I might stop. It looks all right. To me, it's come in. It's been brought in lovely. So yeah. If you want to stop, then fasten off, weaving your ends. If you want to go again, you're going to chain 1 and then front post double crochet straight down, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, and just keep repeating those rounds until you are happy with the width and height of your neckline. And then it's time for the bottom ribbon, the final section. Hey! I love it when we get to the final section. I do, especially with the YouTube videos. I think I have to gear myself up to record them because I get a bit nervous about doing it. But once I'm here, I'm okay. Just kind of like, it feels like I'm talking to you. Even though nobody's there, I still feel like I'm crocheting with people. I don't know, it's so weird, I can't explain it. I'm babbling again. Okay, so I will meet you back here when you're happy with your neckline, and then we're going to move on to the bottom ribbon. Okay, so I've done my neckline. I've decided just to do one round of ribbing, but you can add as many rounds as you wish. So we're now on to the final section, which is the bottom ribbon. Aha! So what we're going to do is keep your sweater right side facing out with your front facing you. We're literally just going to twist it round because we're going to be working on the bottom now. So I'm literally just going to twist it round like so. And now we're ready to work on the bottom ribbing. Hooray! Okay, so we are now ready to do the bottom ribbing. We're going to start at the right corner. I say right corner, it's not really the corner, is it? The side. We're going to be going into the side seam. I've got a bit of fluff stuck on mine. So just like how we attached our sleeves, we're going to go and join our yarn in that seam, right actually on the side seam. So let me get my yarn and my hook ready. I've not got a lot of yarn left, so I am praying that I make it all the way round. Because I've used scrap yarn. I say scrap, I mean I've done quite well, but I did have a lot of colours. I grabbed a lot of colours that were already opened and used and seem to be doing okay so far. So what we're going to do is insert our hook into this side seam, just through the top like so, and do a slip stitch to join the yarn in. Oh, I just went very straight away. Yeah, tighten that up. Okay, so we're going to chain 3 and put 2 more double crochets around that seam bar. Okay, so now we've got the corner from the original square at the bottom. You've got your corner and you've got 2 single crochets, and then you've got your chain space gaps and your single crochets. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip that corner, and then we're going to skip the first single crochet, and we're going to go into the second single crochet and put 3 doubles in that stitch. And now we're going to be skipping the chain spaces and we're going to be working into the single crochets. So we're going to skip chain space and put 3 double crochets into the single crochet. Skip chain space, 3 doubles in the next single crochet. Skip chain space, 3 doubles in the next single crochet. Skip the next chain space, 3 doubles in the next single crochet. So keep doing this until you reach the center of your sweater. Okay, so I now have a chain space left, 2 single crochets, and then the original corner of my square that's been joined in, and then the middle center seam bar, and then it does it again. You've got your corner for your other side and your 2 single crochets. So what we're going to do is skip that first chain space, and then we are going to put we're going to put 3 double crochets in the next single crochet. We're then going to skip the next single crochet and the corner chain space from your original square, and we're going to put 3 double crochets around the seam bar, around the center bar of the seam. Right in there, 3 double crochets. And then we're going to mirror image what we've just done. So we're going to skip the corner of this original square here. And then we've got another single crochet and another single crochet. So we've got 2 single crochets. Skip the next single crochet and go in the one after with 3 doubles. And then we are back to working in chain spaces, and then skip the chain space, go in the single crochet with 3 double crochets. We're literally just going to repeat this whole thing all the way around. So skip the chain space, 3 doubles in the next single crochet. Keep putting 3 doubles in all of your single crochets, and I'll come back to you when we get to the side seam just to go over it again. Exactly the same as how you've just done the centre one, but I will still meet you here and show you what to do when you get to this part. Okay, so I am now the opposite side. I've just gone across the front and I'm now at my opposite side. We're going to do exactly the same as what we've just done with the centre join. Let me just turn it round a bit. Okay, so what I have left is a chain space, and then I've got 2 single crochets and then the corner of the original square. So I'm going to skip the chain space and I'm going to go in the next single crochet with 3 double crochets. And then I'm going to skip the next single and this corner that we had for the original square, and we're going to go straight into the middle of the seam, the side seam. So we're going to go around that seam bar right in there with 3 double crochets. Then we're going to skip the corner of the next granny square, skip the next single crochet, and then go in the single crochet after that with 3 doubles. Exactly the same as what you just did a minute ago. And now you're back to skipping your chain spaces. So keep doing that. You have to do it again one more time when you get to the centre of the back. And I'll meet you back here when we get to the end of this round. Okay, so I'm right near the end of my round. What I have left is a chain space, 2 single crochets and the corner of the original granny square. So what I'm going to do is skip over the final chain space and put 3 double crochets in the first single crochet. And then just join it to the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the round. Now, if you want your sweater to be longer, you can keep adding rounds of 3 double crochets in all the gaps. I'm happy with the length of mine right now, so I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to add extra length, you can either change colour and just join it in the gaps, or you can chain 3 and turn your work and put 2 doubles back into here, just like how you did the sleeves basically. You'll just keep adding rounds until you're happy with the length, and then you can move on to the ribbon. But I'm happy with mine. I'm not going to add no more length, so I'm now going to do the ribbing. Okay, I've just realised I've done something really silly because I've just rearranged all my yarn storage and added an extra row to the top of my yarn storage, so all my yarn is like moved up one level. I've gone and accidentally gone to the same place where my Aran used to be and grabbed Chunky. So I've used Chunky, because I'm using Aran weight, I've used Chunky on my cuffs and on my neckline. I've literally just realised that, but do you know what? I'm going to carry on using Chunky for the bottom ribbon so it all looks uniform. It's not going to matter anyway, is it? I mean, it's made to measure anyway, isn't it? So, never mind. Silly me. Okay, right, let's get on with this bottom ribbon, shall we? I'm changing my colour. From here on out, you're going to be working on the right side only. You're not going to be turning or anything like that. So the first round we're going to do is a decrease round. And this round needs to end on an even number. So I'm going to attach my yarn where I left off, the last place I left off and fastened off. I'm going to attach it with a slip stitch. Chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch. Now I'm going to put a single crochet in the next 8 stitches. So you should have a total of 9 because you started off with a single crochet in the first stitch, then you added another 8 single crochets in each stitch, and now you're going to do your decrease stitch, which is single crochet 2 together, which we did on the cuffs. So single crochet 2 stitches together. Next you're going to do a single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So from here on out, it's going to be single crochet in the next 9 stitches, then single crochet 2 together. So single crochet in the next 9 stitches. And then single crochet 2 together. And then just keep repeating. Single crochet in the next 9 stitches. And then single crochet 2 together. It just makes it easy as well because it needs to be an even number of stitches. So you've got to think in your head while you're counting to 9, when you get near the end of the round, if you land on if your last stitch is an odd number, then you'll either have to skip that last stitch or put 2 single crochets in the last stitch. If your last stitch is an even number, then you know that you've definitely got an even number of stitches because we're doing blocks of 10. So it's going to be 9 single crochets and then single crochet 2 together, which then makes the 10th stitch. So keep doing 9 single crochets, single crochet 2 together, and I'll meet you when we get to the end of the round. Right, I am right at the end of my decrease round. I've just counted my last little block and I am actually on stitch number 9 because remember we're doing 9 single crochets then single crochet 2 together. I've just placed 9 single crochets and I've got 1 stitch left. So I can't single crochet 2 together, and at the minute I've currently got an odd number of stitches and it needs to be even. So I'm just going to place 1 more stitch in here and that gives me 10. So I know that my round has ended on an even number. If your last stitch ends on an odd number, you can either skip it or you can put 2 single crochets in that last stitch. Doesn't matter. You decide which one you want to do, but you need to make it an even number. So I'm doing my final single crochet. And then we're going to join it to the first single crochet with a slip stitch. Right, next round, nice and easy. It's just a round of double crochets. Just like how we did the cuffs on the sleeves and the neckline. So we're going to stay working on the same side. We're not going to turn our work. So you're going to chain 3, which will class as your first double, and then put a double crochet in the next stitch and a double crochet in every single stitch all the way around. So yeah, double crochet in every single stitch. Oop. So I'll meet you back here when you've done the next round. Remember, it's got to be an even number, so keep an eye on your stitches now. You're going to have to count them all this time. It's not as easy as decrease round where you're just counting in blocks of 10. So I'll meet you back here when you've got your round of double crochets. Okay, so I've just gone all the way around and put double crochets in every stitch. I'm now at the end, and all I've got to do is join it to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch. And now it's time to do the ribbing, exactly the same as the cuffs and the neckline, with front post double crochets and back post double crochets. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet straight down that very first stitch where you've just chained. Front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. You know the drill, I'm sure. We've just done it 3 times, haven't we? So I'll just do a couple more with you. Front post double crochet, back post double crochet. And keep alternating between front post and back post, front post and back post. And that is it, pretty much. You can add as many rounds of this ribbing that you desire. And once you've done that, it's all going to be finished. It's all going to be done. Unless you've got 1,000 ends to weave in. Let's hope that's not the case. Hey, I've been very good and weave mine as I've gone. So after this, I've just got 3 left to weave in. I do apologise if you haven't been weaving yours in. You're like, oh, well. We all do things differently. It's fine. Some people enjoy weaving in. I am the population that does not. So I like to do it as a go. So anyway, I'll meet you back here when you have a finished Take Square sweater. Okay then, so I have finished my sweater. Hopefully you have too. Can't quite fit it all in the shot, but there's my ribbing. I didn't add too much in the end because obviously I accidentally was using chunky yarn for my ribbing instead of Aran. Silly sod, ain't I? So yeah, I didn't add too much in the end. I had to undo a couple of rounds actually, but never mind, we won't get into that. I like it how it is now, so here we go. So I just want to say thank you so much if you got this far, and if you've made one, please tag me in it, either on here or TikTok or Facebook, Instagram, whatever. If you like what you see as well, subscribe to my channel, that would be amazing. And then you can keep up to date of any new tutorials that I have coming up. So yeah, and I'm definitely going to have another one soon. So thank you ever so much for joining in for this tutorial. See you later.